The land of dawn, a land of mystery and magic. It was said to be the birthplace of many wonders. Legends whispered of ancient beings who guarded its secrets. These were the Stone Titans. Ancient and powerful, they were bound to the land itself. The Stone Titans were as old as time. They were carved from mountains themselves. Their rocky skin shimmered with an internal light. This light spoke of their connection to the earth. They were the guardians of balance. They protected the land of dawn from harm. The Titans were a peaceful race. They preferred slumber to strife. They spent centuries in deep sleep, their energy merging with the land. They only woke when the balance was threatened. Their awakening was a sign for all to heed. The land of dawn held its breath. It awaited the awakening of its guardians, for in their hands, or rather their massive stone fists, lay the fate of the world. The Stone Titans were giants. They towered over the tallest trees. Their bodies were made of rock and stone. They were covered in moss and lichen. Despite their imposing size, they were gentle creatures. They understood the language of nature. They could feel the heartbeat of the earth. Their skin, rough as granite, was home to tiny creatures. Birds nested in the crevices of their arms. Small animals sought shelter in the shadows they cast. The Titans welcomed them all. They understood the interconnectedness of life. Life for a Stone Titan was a cycle of sleep and wakefulness. They slumbered for long periods. They absorbed energy from the earth. When they woke, they were filled with a renewed sense of purpose. They were ready to protect the land of dawn once more. But waking up had its own challenges. The Titans felt a pull towards sleep. It was a deep primal urge. They had to prove their worthiness to stay awake. They needed a reason to fight the slumber. Only then could they fulfill their duty. Deep within the land of dawn lay a hidden fortress. It was carved into the side of a mountain. This was the Fortress Titan. It was not just a fortress. It was a living, breathing Stone Titan, and within it slumbered the guardians. The Fortress Titan was ancient. It had seen empires rise and fall. It had witnessed the ebb and flow of history. It remained untouched. It was a silent sentinel. It watched over the land of dawn. Inside the fortress, the Stone Titans slept. They were connected to the fortress. They shared its ancient energy. They slept soundly, their dreams filled with visions of the past, present and future. They were content in their slumber. They knew that when the time came, they would be ready. The fortress hummed with their energy. It was a beacon of hope. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there were those who watched over the land of dawn. Grok was different. He was a young Stone Titan. He was full of energy. He didn't like to sleep for too long. He yearned for adventure. He longed to see the world. Grok woke up inside the Fortress Titan. He was alone. The other Titans were still fast asleep. He wandered through the empty halls. He felt a pang of loneliness. He missed the company of his kind. He tried to wake the others, but they wouldn't stir. Their slumber was too deep. He was on his own. He felt a weight settle on his shoulders. He was the only one awake. Grok explored the fortress. He discovered ancient murals. They depicted the history of the Stone Titans. He learned about their purpose. He understood his own responsibility. He was a guardian. He had to protect the land of dawn. But how could he protect the land if he didn't know where it was? He decided to leave the fortress. He would find the land of dawn. He would find a reason to stay awake. The Fortress Titan felt Grok leave. It rumbled as if in its own sleep. The fortress was bound to the Titans. It shared their fate. It too felt the pull towards slumber. But Grok's departure had stirred something within. The fortress had always been stationary. It was rooted in the mountain. But now it felt a desire to move. It wanted to follow Grok. It wanted to see the world through his eyes. The earth trembled as the fortress shifted. Rocks tumbled down its sides. The waterfalls that cascaded from its eyes seemed to flow faster. The Fortress Titan was waking up. Inside, the slumbering Titans felt the change. They stirred in their sleep. They sensed Grok's absence. They felt the fortress's awakening. Their dreams were disturbed. They were filled with images of their young kin. Grok ventured out into the world. The sun was bright, the air was fresh. He was filled with a sense of wonder. He had never seen the world like this before. He walked for days. He crossed mountains and valleys. He followed the flow of rivers. He listened to the whispers of the wind. He was searching for clues. He wanted to find the land of dawn. He wanted to find his purpose. But more than anything, Grok longed for companionship. He missed the other Titans. He missed their stories and their wisdom. He carried the weight of their absence on his shoulders. He was lonely. He started to doubt himself. Was he doing the right thing? Should he have stayed in the fortress? Should he have tried harder to wake the others? He pushed these thoughts aside. He had to keep going. He had to find the land of dawn. Grok's journey was long and arduous. He faced many dangers. He encountered strange creatures. He braved harsh weather. He never gave up. He was determined to find his place in the world. He began to understand the world around him. He learned to read the stars. He could feel the changes in the earth. He could sense the presence of other living things. He was becoming more than just a guardian. He was becoming one with nature. His journey was not just about finding the land of dawn. It was about finding himself. He was discovering his own strength. He was learning to trust his instincts. He was embracing his role as a protector. He carried the fortress Titan within him. He felt its presence in his heart. He knew that he was not alone. He was connected to something ancient and powerful, and he knew that one day he would find his way back. As Grok journeyed, he began to find fragments of his past. He discovered ruins. He uncovered ancient artifacts. He pieced together the history of his people. He learned about their sacrifices. He understood their love for the land of dawn. He realized that the land of dawn was not a place. It was an idea. It was a symbol of hope and peace. It was something worth fighting for. It was something worth protecting. Grok's quest had changed him. He was no longer the same young Titan who had left the fortress. He was older now. He was wiser. He was ready to face any challenge. He knew that his journey was far from over. He still had much to learn, but he was no longer alone. He carried the legacy of his people with him. He carried the hope of the land of dawn in his heart, and he knew that one day he would find his way home.